A particularly good feature in this car is the climate system. People don't like scrolling through screens to adjust their temperature. In this car, you don't need to do that. Down here, we've got shortcuts to turn it on and off. I can set the fan speed up and down with this button. I can adjust the temperature with this button as well, which is great. And if I want to get into the screen quickly, I've got two choices. I can tap the temperature button and up it all comes. I can adjust the airflow, I can switch my heated seat on, I can switch the climate control on. If I was back on the home screen, if I hold this button as well, if I just simply want to use the slider to change the temperature, I can do that also. Quick, easy. You don't have to get stressed about altering the climate controls, which in this day and age that's a great system. Hello everybody, what's happening? My name's Neil. Welcome along to Midlife Motors. And today on the driveway we've got a 2025 MG in all its glory. Now I've had this car for about a week now, and whilst it's plugged in, getting some energy back into it, I thought we'd have a look at the infotainment system, because this is the latest, this is the greatest if you like, and will apply to any car that you might be looking at in the MG range at the moment. So let's jump inside and get cracking. Shall we start then with the dashboard itself? I have it set on this fairly clear display, which is telling me how much regenerative braking I've got on down the bottom here, how much battery I've got left, 65%, and in normal mode that equates to 178 miles still, which is good. We have a speed on the left here, and it will tell you the power you're using, where you'd expect to see a rev counter. Now you can change this setup if you want something a little bit more fancy. Coming down to the steering wheel here, you're looking for the left and the right arrows, and if you watch the screen as we pan through it, you'll see different information. You can have this as your display. So this one's measuring our tire pressures. This one, what's this one doing? Oh, that's brightness. What's the next one? There we go. We can see what speed the motor's doing. If you want, this is really, if you want more information, gives you your kilowatt hours that you're using at the time, and the current state of the battery, all that sort of stuff. It's a bit too much info for me, to be honest with you. That's why I quite like that one. So you can change it for whatever you like. This is really good. It's a nice clear display. Moving on from the dashboard there, while we're talking about drive stuff, down here, this is where you select your gears. Obviously you've got reverse, neutral and drive. You've got the parking brake here, but you don't really apply that to. When you finish using the car, if you just press this in, it'll put everything into park, apply the parking brake, that sort of stuff. Makes it very convenient. You've got three toggles here. This one will tell you immediately, there you go, up on the screen there, how your battery's doing. There's a lot of information about how your battery's getting on in this car. The one next to it, this is the kinetic energy recovering system. Remember, up here saw I was on 2. If I flick this, you'll see my braking, that one's gone up to 3, so that's the highest amount of braking. And then if I go the other way, you can go all the way down to 1. You can't turn that off completely. And then finally, we've got some modes. This car, if you look at just here, has got various modes. So if I go into sport mode, you can see it affects the range. And if I go back to normal, there we go, R178, and an eco range, which will bump it up a little bit. It's quite good in sport mode. Car's got a little bit of performance in sport mode. You'll get to 60 in under 8 seconds in this car, which surprises a few people. So that's kind of what you've got here. Right next to it, you've got a wireless charging pad, which is handy as well. It's a little bit weird, this, because it's got Apple CarPlay, but it's not wireless. So you have to have a cable anyway, which is a bit mad. As soon as you plug it in, the Apple CarPlay will come on, but that's a little bit old-fashioned. They could tidy that up. You could do without having to have a wire there. Let's do the steering wheel now, and then that'll take us to the main bit, and probably the final bit, the main screen. So we've got controls for the audio and telephone on one side, and we've got controls, as we saw, for the dash and the info on that on the other side. We've also got, if you can just see through there, we've got cruise control, which is radar guided on this car. The steering wheel will go up and down, but it doesn't pull in and out, which is a little bit... It's not the end of the world. You do get a good driving position in this car. The driver's seat is actually auto. Then you've got your 2 stalks that you'll be used to. The good news on this facelifted model is the bings and bongs that used to plague the original car, all gone. Let's come over to our main screen then, the one that's got all the info that we're really going to use. Now the good thing about this is the home screen we've got up here. The good thing about this setup is, although it's touchscreen, it does have some buttons down here, some shortcut buttons to do things like turn the radio up and down quickly, turn the heating up and down quickly. Even to, if I hold that, it'll switch the heating off again. So that's quite handy. You've got some quick shortcuts, but the bulk of it is on here. We've got the main screen, as I said. That's got my radio, my nav set on it. You can configure this to have whatever you like. I've got my Apple CarPlay. It will come down there when I do plug it in. If we slide over to second screen on the home page, you've got a little bit more in-depth information, so you can go into things like vehicle settings. You can change your lane assist. I've got all of these ADAS systems turned off in this car, which is good, because in this car you can turn them all off, and when they're off, they freaking stay off, which is good. We've got a convenience screen here for the door locking, that sort of stuff. The lighting, you can set your follow me home lights. I've got auto high beam set, and the last one here just tells you about when you need some servicing. To get back to the home screen, just press the home button in the bottom there, and you can see the other stuff. You've got one good feature on this car: video. This car has got a built-in camera, if you like. What do you call them? Blah 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 camera. A blah 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 camera. Dash cam, that's what I'm trying to say, dash cam. And you just plug a USB in there and it'll record. Very good feature. I think more and more cars will get that. So yeah, we've got other stuff like the weather. We can have a look and see, well, we can just look out the window here and see that it's a typical Scottish day. We've got, this is our temperature, if you like. This is what controls our warmth and cooling. The one thing you do have to do, you do have to come into the screen to turn your heated seats on. Is what it is. There we go. If I switch the heating on, that's what I usually have it set at. One thing I would notice about this car, it always seems a bit cooler than that number says, but maybe that's just me. Turn that back off again. Go back to the home screen. So you've got all the stuff there, your radio, your phone usage, that sort of stuff. Settings takes you into your Bluetooth, all that sort of stuff as well. So you can see exactly what's going on with the car. All very good. Now, one thing that's very handy, I think anyway, is the shortcut button that's on the steering wheel here. Remember, we mentioned this before. If I hit that, it brings up here some information which I use the most of, and therefore I like to press a lot. I mean, I'm not turning the ESP off on a day like today, but sometimes I like to turn the screens off just if I want to not have too much glare, that sort of stuff. I adjust the brightness on various things quite a lot, and the volume, etc. So I have them all set up so I can do that quickly. Turn your hotspot and your Wi-Fi on and off as and when you need to. So all this sort of stuff works pretty quickly. The other icons you've got here are if you want to program your sat nav, if you want to get into your music, and also settings about the car that we saw earlier. There we go then. That was pretty quick and straightforward. It's not an in-depth system, this. It's got what you need and it's easy to get at. Going to finish with, there's one particular gripe that I haven't covered, and it's to do with the cameras on this car. It's got 360 cameras, which is great, but they're a little bit slow to engage when you're flicking between drive and reverse. I can demonstrate that now if I press the button on the dashboard here. See, it takes a while for them to come up. If you're in traffic, you'd want it quicker than that. And when they do come up, they're not particularly clear. I mean, you can select various cameras, but the resolution on them, not brilliant. We mentioned earlier that it's not wireless. That's not the end of the world, actually. So if I plug my phone in, we'll see that that does come up quite quickly and get going quite smartly. There we go. We've got... Whoop. You now know my taste in music, so that's a little bit, you know, it's a pain, but that one is quite fast. But there we go. I think that summarizes it. I don't want to bang on and on and on about it, because it is an easy to use system. If this has been helpful, if you can give us a thumbs up or give us a like, I'd appreciate that. If you want to hit subscribe, because we'll be taking the car out for a drive, and you might as well come along for that because it drives well too. Thanks very much for watching this one though. I shall see you again soon. Goodbye.